masculinity is huge. I mean, as a kid growing up in the 80s, Hulk Hogan was like, say your prayers and take your vitamins, brother. That was a guy who I looked up to, who loved America, who's a patriot of this country. And I knew wrestling was the way to get there. When I walked in the wrestling room as a freshman in high school, I was bullied as a young kid. I had 3 older brothers that used to beat me up all the time. And I had to defend myself. There's times I got my butt kicked and I had to stand up for myself. I got into collegiate wrestling, and it saved my life. Of course, my true name is Jacob. In the Bible, Jacob raced against an angel. The angels beat him and saved his life. Well, that's what saved my life, was wrestling. The hard work, the dedication, the sacrifices I had to do of making weight, training every day. The things that I did in my life for that prepared me for life now. Now I'm trying to do the same thing for my boys. I have 3 boys. My oldest son, Jacob, who's 21, goes to Arizona State University. My twin boys, Jesse and Journey, that are here with me here in Florida. They're just doing an amazing job. They're working hard. And it's important for the parents to be present, fathers and mothers. The fathers need to be there, of course, to show the masculinity to the kids. But at the same time, the mothers cannot be coddling the kids as much as they do. I think from ruining a country from the inside within is to start with the youth. And that's what they're doing right now. Right. It hurts my feelings, and I hope a lot of parents do wake up and put their kids into a tough sport of wrestling, jiu-jitsu, some type of hand-to-hand combat type of sport to get them be a little more masculinity.
Yeah, Mary, you actually took a little bit softer approach, but relatively agree. You said women need masculinity in this world. Don't demonize it.
Yeah, I mean, if we want feminine women, we need strong men to protect us, because right now we have a society where women are really masculine. They're walking out, they're taking the roles that men normally take. There was this piece in Axios where they were just really excited about the fact that women were taking over the workforce. There were more women in the workforce than men. But at the end of it, when you broke it down, it wasn't that like parental leave had become a thing or men were staying home and taking care of kids. It were working mothers. The majority of increase in women working in the workforce were women who had children under the age of 5. And you cannot expect a healthy balance between the sexes if you have women going out and really being more masculine than feminine. And in order to continue that, you have to have that that strength that comes along with masculinity. Like you said earlier, it's that balance between knowing when you have to pick up your child and love on them and the time when you have to like break a neck because someone's coming through the front door. There's a special flip that men have that women, we are coddlers, we're nurturers by nature, and our ability to be able to handle emotional strife and all of those things are a blessing, but we should not be the leader, protector of our family.
Yeah, no, I agree. But Tito, this weird term done by soy boys is toxic masculinity. And it's like the scrutiny where people are tied to this word. I probably have a lot to do, you know, it probably does have a lot to do with the societal downturn we're seeing now. Why don't we normalize something, I don't know, like heroic masculinity, something that civilians depend on every day to exercise the rights, right or wrong, that they seize?
Well, I really think it comes down just to hard work. People don't want to work hard for what they need to get. I mean, you want to live this American dream, you got to work hard for it. You got to get up every day. I mean, before I was a fighter, before I got into college, there was a year that I got up, at 5 in the morning. I pounded nails until 5 in the afternoon. Even at the age of 11, working on a boat as a pinhead, which you go on a boat, fish for free. You got to come back, you got to scrub an 85-foot boat on the way back, and you got to make sure everything's perfect. But doing that hard work as a young kid, all the way up to 16 years old, of being a deckhand, baiting lines up to the age of 19, and through that time of high school that I wrestled, there was so much hard work that I did, but it was because of what I wanted in this world. I wanted to become someone great, but at the same time be able to afford a family, to provide for my family. And nowadays, it just seems like kids, they have everything to expect that's easy, that things are going to be handed to them. That's not normal life. You got to work hard. You got to be dedicated. You got to give it your all. And when it comes to women, the same situation. Yes, there's time to coddle your child. There's time to, if they do fall down and they start crying, if you walk away and give a second, go, all right, is he crying from pain or is he crying for attention? That's one of the things that I think a woman needs to be in the home. I mean, of course they can work, but this started a long time ago where they're separated, where they want to have equality for women, equality for men, and they separate the nuclear family. That's something that America is missing now, is having that nuclear family, and that's how they're separating families and making children weaker by doing that. And like I say, I want my kid to be a hard worker. I want him to be dedicated. I want him to be proud of himself each and every day in school, in wrestling, in life in general. And I think as mothers, they work really hard. My wife, she's a at-home mother. She does a lot of work online, but she's a hardworking at-home mother.
I want to get.
That's how my mom was. I didn't have a father figure, but I understood through wrestling that hard work and dedication will prepare you for life in general.
I want to get Mary in here because, Mary, there's liberal women out there saying it's, quote, hard to find masculine men that aren't conservative. But they've done this to their own party. So what advice would you offer to someone like this?
Stop emasculating your men. You want a strong man, stop telling him how weak and useless he is all the time. Stop walking around like you can do it all. The reality is that there's a balance to love. There's supposed to be a balance to these things. You're not supposed to be all. He is not supposed to be all, and she is not supposed to be all. And our selfish society has told us that women can take both roles. And so if you're a liberal woman and you're single and you're having a hard time finding another liberal man who's like strong enough to protect you as you're walking down the scary streets of San Francisco, well, guess what? That's just not going to be possible because you have emasculated every man in your peer group. And now you're going to have to look outside of it because the only men that are willing to stand up now and protect the vulnerable in our society are men that believe in traditional values. And those traditional values are the ones that keep us safe, that keep us protected, and that pass our legacies down from generation to generation. And so what she's looking for is her white buffalo. It's been gone. That buffalo is extinct generations ago. You're not going to find him. Look for the conservative.
That ship has sailed. Tito Ortiz, Mary Rooke, appreciate you being here.